Fellas, back with another video. Of course, you know, we got Buddy right here.
What's up?
You guys see it, man. You guys know the deal. You guys read the title, man. Gonna be doing a dual fuel pump setup on the single cab build, the turbo truck build. This is an important step to do if you really want to push those higher numbers. Currently, we have one Walbro 450 fuel pump. I know previously we did an install on that, but one Walbro 450 fuel pump is good on E85 for about, I believe, like 710 horsepower. So we're gonna try to push a little bit more than that, probably around 750, 760, something like that on pure E85. You guys see the truck though, we finally got all our finishing last pieces on the turbo truck. You guys know we've been waiting on our turbo manifolds. Currently we have just a little eBay, Amazon one. But if we come over here just real quick, you guys know your boy had a partner with HuronSpeed. Got probably the nicest turbo manifolds on the market. This is the driver's side, obviously not the turbo side. So you guys see, man, the turbo side is somewhere in that stack of boxes, but you guys see it right there. We're gonna be getting these installed here very soon, so you definitely wanna stay tuned for that. But like I said, today we're gonna be working on the fuel system, going to a bigger line, bigger fuel regulator. Right now we're running 6 AN, gonna be upgrading to 8 AN, and ultimately get those dual fuel pumps in. So first things first, you guys know the deal, get the bed off. But real quick, like I said, we gotta go ahead and shout out HuronSpeed, man. So real quick, just wanna go ahead and shout out HuronSpeed. We went ahead, partnered with them. You guys know they have probably some of the best stuff when it comes to turboing one of these trucks. Got their dual fuel pump setup assembly. You guys see it, man, you can't beat that quality right there. So this is gonna allow me to do 2 Walbro 450s. They are able to customize it to the size that you want. If you're gonna do 525 pumps or different type of pump, you just let them know and they'll work with you. And then of course they'll sell it in a full kit, plug and play kit. I didn't need all that stuff, so all I got was the assembly. I can make it work myself, but if you don't want to deal with all that, they do sell it as a complete kit. So you guys know the deal. Right now we'll go ahead, get that set up, show you guys how to do it. Honestly, pretty easy. So let's go ahead and do it, man. So first things first, we went ahead and got the bumper off because it's easier just to slide the bed back, lift it a little bit, and then get access to that fuel tank, which is right in this area. Just like that, got our bed up, and that reveals our fuel pump. A lot easier to get to, better access. So like I said, we'll just be going ahead, unplug everything, take out the old, and then start assembling the new. Can add another relay, another line. Like I said, we'll go ahead and show you how to do that. So let's go ahead and get to it. So you guys see it, first thing is just pretty much just unplug our lines, get those hoses off, and then get that fuel pump out. There you have it, out with the old. Now, if you're considering doing this, just know that there is a difference between the 99 to 02 and the 03 to 05 sizes. Mine is a 2000, so on these trucks, the fuel pump housing is smaller on these trucks, also the size of the top as well, and the overall opening of the tank. On the newer ones, the cat eyes, 03, 04, 05, the opening is a lot larger. So on the cat eyes, I know you're able to customize this, fit 2 fuel pumps in there. It's just really hard to do on the smaller ones just because you're limited with space. As you can see, not much room to play with. You could give it a shot, but for me it was easier just to get the assembly with Huron, throw it in, and just be done with it. So first thing when transferring everything to the new tank, it's gonna be your fuel tank level right here. So it's gonna be the purple wires, same color as the HuronSpeed ones, as you can see right there. So there you have it. For the most part, just slides on. When you initially slide it on, it is a little loose. If you look, it does have little metal tabs. If you just go ahead, slide it on, bend those just a little bit slightly, stays on there nice and snug. So already that works perfectly fine. So now we'll go ahead, get on to the next. Like I said, if you want to deal with the whole wiring situation like we are, HuronSpeed does sell a wiring adapter kit that just plugs in pretty much. So, but if you don't want to do that, kind of do it the way we're doing it. So right now we're just doing the wiring for the level. So pretty much go ahead, just finish that up. Then we also had to cut these up here and then put them into our new plug. So we'll go ahead, finish it up, and then we'll tell you guys how we did it. So we don't have our multimeter on us to read voltage or resistance. So kind of doing a little bit of Mickey Mouse hooking up to the battery. Real quick, just giving it a little bit of power, see which one kicks on, just to figure out which one is which. Go ahead and do that again. There you have it, pump kicks on. So ground is top and power is bottom. Also keep in mind when you're adjusting this assembly to make it longer or shorter, you want to keep your wires long enough. If you make your wires too short and you're trying to extend it, it's not going to let you because your wires are too short. It's going to be pulling on your wires, so keep your eye on that. Now just before putting it in, we went to the original fuel pump, grabbed this little gasket off it, and then threw it onto the Huron one. We weren't sure if it needed it, but we checked and it does fit nice and snug, so should make sealing it much better. I'm not going to show too much of the wiring. If you guys want to go ahead and check out how we did the relay and ran the power and all that, I'll show that in this video right here. If you guys want to go ahead and check that out, it's pretty similar. What we're going to do again for the second pump, just going to have to set it up the same way we did this one and then just add it to the plug, which we'll be cutting and adding to a new plug to go onto the new HuronSpeed plug. So the only thing we'll be showing is adding the new plug-in for the HuronSpeed plug-in right there, then also adding the Hobbs switch to it as well. So the relay switch is pretty much plug and play. Only thing we did is remove the red wire. You won't be needing that. So we'll go ahead, get that mounted, run the powers to it, get it hooked up, and then go from there. So now we'll be moving on to the Hobbs switch. This is the style Hobbs switch that we're going with. Or you can do the other style that just has the 2 bolts where you attach the wires. Now obviously we won't be actually installing the Hobbs switch because that goes onto the intercooler. And as you can see, we have no intercooler yet, but we'll show you how to wire it up, and then all you have left to do is pretty much just put it on the intercooler. But pretty much what I did was I just bought the harness for it. All the parts being installed in this video are going to be linked in the description, so if you want to do everything exactly as I did, all the parts will be in the description. So this harness is part of that. It plugs into the Hobbs switch, and then this end is going to be the other end of the harness that we just cut. Not exactly sure what it goes into. This is the harness right here. As you can see, the ends that we snipped, both basically just going to go into ground. So the black wire, as you see, we have going to the white wire on the relay. It's going there. And then the green one, we're going to attach to the ground over here. That also comes in the kit. And that's pretty much it. The rest is just going to fit it under the truck. And then eventually just bring it up through here and then onto the intercooler. And you're good to go. Feed your cable wherever you want to. I'll go ahead and clean it up later. And then it just goes into the intercooler just like that. My sensor is going to be a 4 PSI one. As soon as I have it inside the intercooler, once that intercooler builds 4 PSI, that'll trigger the switch on and then turn on that second pump. But there you have it. That's pretty much it for the Hobbs switch. So this is the original connector that's going to come from the truck. We're going to have to wire up, get all these wires into that one to allow it to plug into the new fuel pump right there. So we're gonna go ahead and take our pump out once again, one more time. We have our multimeter now, so we'll be able to double check we're getting all the right pins, the correct pins, just so that we don't have to take this thing out once again, once it's already all installed and shit. So get it right the first time. So right now, like I said, we have our multimeter here, just checking the plugs to see which one goes where. So right now we're doing the lower pump, which is the red and black wire. That's gonna be, power is gonna be that lower pin right there on the right side, which we're marking right here. So lower pin on the right side, power. And that pump is gonna be our boost pump. And then we'll go ahead and check the ground, which as you can see is the one right above it. And there you go, we got each pin figured out. So the left side, which is your yellow and black cables to the main fuel pump that we're gonna be running. So boost pump, main pump, have that run right here. Basically the right side is gonna be the black and red cables. Left side is gonna be the main pump for the yellow and black cables. Then the middle pins, these right here, are gonna be for the fuel level. And then finally we're able to figure out which wires are the correct way for the tank for the fuel level. So if you come to the original harness here, you have this orange cable, that's gonna be for your fuel level. And then the purple one is also gonna be for your fuel level. So the way we wired it up, this left wire is gonna be for the orange wire, this one right here, which goes to the bottom middle pin. And then the right side is gonna be your purple wire, which is the top middle pin. And we have that graphed here as well. Fuel level purple, which is the top. All right, so now coming back to wiring our harness, we'll give you guys a quick little breakdown of which wire goes where and how to do it. All right, there you have it. Got our harness all finished up, hooked up. As you can see, got all our cables inserted. So let's go ahead and break it down for you guys, show you exactly how to get that set up.
All right, well, first of all, it's not that hard to wire it up either. You just gotta know where you want them and your powers and grounds. But yeah, we just did we used our meter. We checked the resistance to make sure which wires went to what. So we kind of made a little diagram here So we did our ground for the top pin of our main pump, and then our power for the main pump on the bottom. We did our fuel levels in the middle right here, top and bottom. And then for our boost pump or secondary pump, we have this top pin for our ground and the bottom pin for our power. You can see in here.
So the way you're looking at that picture right there is basically
how we have it pinned.
The way this is pinned. So from left to right, it's the same thing.
If you're gonna do a Hobbs switch, just do, I mean, there's quite a bit of ways you could do it, but how we did it is we did our Hobbs switch to the ground on the relay. So once it hits 4 pounds of boost, it'll ground out and kick our pump on, secondary pump. And that's basically it. You just do it how you would wire any other relays, and just add in your Hobbs switch to the wiring, and you should be good to go on your way. And also for our switch powers to kick the pumps on, we just use the original switch power source right here, and then we teed it into 2 to go to both of our relays. There's other ways you could do it as well, where you could just have it go into 1 relay and then do main power into 1 relay, which will have the relay on all the time, but it won't really be on because you won't have ground until your Hobbs switch kicks on. But this is your evap pressure sensor, and we couldn't really find any information on what to do because you can see on this HuronSpeed fuel pump hanger, it doesn't have any location to insert it at all. So what we're gonna do is just gonna keep it connected and just leave it there sitting. At the most, you'll just have a check engine light, but I mean, if you're at this point in your truck build, you know, you ain't gonna be running no evap, so you just get it tuned out from your tuner and you should be good.
And then the other thing that we're gonna do is go ahead and make this bracket slightly longer, because when we set it inside the tank, the socks were not getting wet. And I do have a little bit amount of fuel in there. I don't know if you can see it, a slight amount, but they should have been wet once we took it out. So just gotta loosen up those screws, make it a little longer, and then we should be good. But there you have it, got all our wiring situation figured out. That's pretty much it. The rest is gonna be running those new lines, setting up the new fuel regulator, and then that's pretty much it. So basically what's gonna happen here is our return line is gonna stay. We will not be changing this line because it's just a return line, but our feed line is the one that we're gonna be changing for that 8AN. So on here, we're just gonna go ahead and put a fitting, just like this one right here. Just gonna screw it on, and it should snap right on in. This is gonna be a 5/16 fitting, and if you wanna check it out, it will be in the description. It's like $7-8. So we'll just go ahead and tighten that up, make sure it's on there good. There you go, that snaps right on in, so we're good to go. We'll just go ahead and get that 8AN line going, and then we're that much closer to being done. So now that we have our dual fuel pumps in and the wiring pretty much figured out, we're gonna come to our fuel filter, which is over here, get those lines off in the front, and then a second one right there in the back. We'll get those off and then get that new 8AN line in there. And there you have it, fuel filter comes off. We'll go ahead and throw in our new fittings, get it ready for that 8AN line, and then just throw it all together. So I have this brand PQI for the fuel filter and also the regulator. Honestly, it's been a great brand so far, never had issues, and pretty good quality, right bud?
Working pretty good, yeah. It's been on there for what, like almost 2 years?
Yeah, been on there about 1.5 years already, yep. All right guys, and real quick, we have one more shout out that we have to give, and this time it's gonna be for Evo Energy. They went ahead and set me up with pretty much everything that we need for this fuel system setup. Everything from the fittings to the PTFE line, you guys see it. Everything that we pretty much need to get this hooked up. Yeah, I see the name, man. You see the name. So definitely check out the description. I'll have a code for you guys to get a discount from their website. It's great quality stuff, man. You can't beat it. So let's go ahead and get this done, man. So now we'll go ahead and start running our PTFE line. We'll more than likely just do it along the frame, just so we have easier access to it if we ever need to change anything, move anything. So pretty much from here to the back of the filter, and then another line going from the front of the filter all the way to the regulator. So we're gonna go ahead and feed it through there. And we have our line going through there to the back of our filter right there. So we'll go ahead, cut it, and then make another line going from the front right there to the regulator. So now we'll go ahead and start putting our PTFE fittings on. We'll get that onto the hose. Pretty easy, really. Oh yeah, to hit it. So we got both fittings onto our first hose. That's gonna go to the filter. We'll go ahead and feed it through. And then this end is obviously gonna go into the fuel pump. This one's good. So right now, just putting in the new 8AN fuel regulator. Already got the old one out. It's pretty much very simple. And we are missing a few fittings, but for the most part, you can see more or less what you need and how everything's pretty much set up. It's very simple. Like I said, we didn't change nothing on the return system. Pretty much just the whole feed system, just the 8AN line. Then a bunch of fittings. Really the most difficult part was obviously the fuel pump and the wiring and all that. But as you can see, we're pretty much, for the most part, already pretty much done. Once we get that on, get the new hose on, that's gonna go onto the fuel regulator. And then this end is gonna go onto the filter. And that's pretty much it. All right, and there you have it, just like that. Got our new regulator in. This side right here is the side that goes into the rails for the intake. I'm not gonna do that right now, but so basically it goes right here into the regulator, then all the way here into the rail with the 180. Then that goes over there on the loop into the opposite side of the fuel rail, and then that has a cap right there. Pretty much it, man. You got yourself a new fuel system. Like I said, we'll do that later. Right now, the main thing was getting the dual fuel pumps. We got that done. Got most of the 8AN line done as well. You guys see it? That's pretty much it though. Pump is done, 8AN line is done, fuel filter is connected. Still need 2 fittings to make it work. Nonetheless, you guys get the idea. And we're back the next day, and we can finally confidently say that we're finally done with the dual fuel pump setup. That's pretty much all there is to the process. The last thing that I showed you guys was installing the fuel regulator, and that's really all there is to the process. Obviously, still got to do the lines on the intake. As you can see, got our bed back on. It's not bolted up. We'll go ahead and do that later, but the only thing that we forgot was 2 fittings for the fuel filter, but I'm pretty sure you guys understand it's real straightforward. From the regulator to the line to the filter, and then the back end of the filter goes right here to the fuel pump. That's one step closer to getting this thing finished with the boost. Now we can finally really get started on getting this thing finished, because like I showed you guys earlier, we have our HuronSpeed manifolds, so we are good to go, fellas. We can finally get this shit finished, get it to the dyno, to the tuner, and see how much power she puts down. Oh yeah, man, it's blissful though. It's come a long way, fellas. But yeah, if you guys have any other questions on how we set up this dual fuel pump setup, I try to show everything the best I could. Go ahead, drop in the comments, any questions or comments, whatever you're thinking. Now that I see the truck like this, thinking about getting a roll pan. I feel like it look clean and it's a lot lighter, but I also do like the look of the rear bumpers, so we'll see what we do with it, man. So now that we're done with this, the only thing left here, boy, to do is to get this turbo install started. So let me quit the yapping and then we'll get that going. So like, comment, and subscribe to your boy. You guys know the deal, man. I'm gonna see y'all in the next video.